1961, a short, from my reference point, 19 years ago. And I had the pleasure of being on the same staff with the gentleman that we're here to honor tonight. And just being a part of it is a thrill for me. I've known Milt for these 19 years. He's the type of a professional individual that people in our business are proud to be associated with. So I came here as a friend, and luckily I could, as a president of the administrative organization at Brentwood, make a presentation to a great fellow. And if you'd come up, I'd like to present you with a plaque from the organization up there. There's your colleagues. It reads, presented to, I'm going to fit a little bit here, Milt Siler Jr. But it really says Milt Siler on it. A grateful recognition for 22 years of dedicated service to the students of Brentwood Public Schools as teacher, administrator, and friend, presented by Brentwood principals and supervisors of the organization.
It's my pleasure to introduce the co-founder of Maslow-Toffler, Mr. John Sharon.
Well, how do you like the warehouse so far? I must say, before I address my comments to you, Milt, and to everyone, I had been asked by a former student who is not here today to read a letter to Milt, and I'd like to do that now. Dear Milt, I am unable to attend this dinner in your honor because of an unreconcilable conflict with my work schedule. I am sure that you realize how much I miss being with you on this very special evening. Being unable to personally express my heartfelt gratitude and good wishes, I ask that you accept my thoughts in the form of this letter. Realize that no one letter could ever express all that I would wish it to. For every thought written here, there are many more which will be left unsaid. In the 2 years that I have studied with you, you have provided me with innumerable, invaluable opportunities to explore various academic areas. You have prompted me to scrutinize and, on occasion, reevaluate my academic and personal priorities. You, together with John Sharon, have given me the educational alternative of Maslow-Toffler. You have served as the cornerstone and foundation in the creation and continuance of this valuable and dynamic educational setting. You have helped teach me many important things. The congruity between all the aspects of your life has shown to me the value of honesty and sincerity in my own life. Your strength and commitment to ideals and principles has taught me the importance of these values. Your perseverance has proven to me that an ideal can only become a reality if we truly invest ourselves and work for that which we desire. You are a fine example of what a man can become, a fine example of what self-awareness and high principles can do. I will miss seeing you teach in a class. I hope an open dialogue between us will continue to exist. I know that I personally, and Maslow-Toffler in general, will miss you. I am sure, however, that your decision was one that was carefully made, and that you will now pursue your goal to help educate an entire world through your writing. You have proven the value of humane education at Maslow-Toffler. Now you can show the world what we all know to be true. Thank you for all you have given me. Good luck with all you have left to do. In thought always, John C. Baum. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow. Somehow retirement manages to incorporate all those three time sequences all in the here and now. Yesterday, the memories. The memory of my walking into an office in the Ross building and being interviewed by a young guy with a haircut, a crew cut, military crew. And instead of asking me what I would do if somebody called me a confirmed parent, or what I would do if somebody got up and walked out of the class without my permission, or some such question, this fellow wanted to know what the latest book was that I had read, and did I know who Jerome Bruner was. And we spent a good deal of time discussing the concept that any child could be taught any subject at any age. And that made quite an impression on me, because I had been to a number of interviews before that. And I ultimately made one of the best decisions of my life when I decided to accept the invitation to come to work in Brentwood. And Milt was the person who interviewed me for that job. Today, we do things and we say things, and John Baum has just said much more eloquently than I could, I'm sure, how Milt is a rare, unusual man. There are few people that I've met in my life that, John used the word congruity of his words and actions. There are few people that I've met in my life that have it as much together in terms of words and actions as Milt. It is an honor to have studied with him, to have learned from him, and to have shared some of the most precious years of my life with him, learning to do the same thing for myself. It's very easy to talk, and all of us can do that. But as you well know, it's not so easy to put into actions what we say. I think Milt has just concluded one of the most courageous things that I have ever seen anybody do. In his decision to run for the board, I so admired him for the courage of that decision, and I admire him now as a winner, because Milt can only be a winner in my eyes. There are winners and there are losers, and you know there are only three kinds of situations in this world. There are, as many of you know, win-win situations, there are win-lose situations, and there are lose-lose situations. I have never known Milt, in the years that I've known him, to embark upon anything but a win-win situation. And so, Milt won. And Milt will always win, in my eyes. I think tomorrow, I'd like to say something about tomorrow. I've watched him over the years, and I've been in Brentwood. This is my 16th year. I've watched Milt grow. Although I gotta say, in the last few years, I watched Milt and I said to myself, I wonder if it's going to be this year that Milt grows, because I don't see any change. And Milt, from year to year, Milt is so consistent and so right on the same mark. And everybody else around us here, students, myself, I could feel the growth. I was going through pains, as many of you know, in the last few years. Other students come and go. We've all experienced pains, agonies, and we've experienced the peaks of happiness and growth. But Milt was so consistent and so there every hour. I wonder if something's going to happen this year. Gradually, within the last 2 years, I began to see something that the past 4 years had eluded my eyes, at least. Milt was growing all along. But his decision to run is what I'm focusing on because that's what blew my mind. When somebody gives as much to their work as Milt has given, even though they leave, Milt remains behind. And so tomorrow will contain Milton K. Siler, Jr. as long as this school, in terms of its ideas and its philosophy, lives on. And I think that's important to remember. There are lots of ways of remembering our loved ones. We can create foundations, we can create scholarships, we can create plaques on walls, we can create all sorts of reasons. We can create children too, or procreate children. And they're a way of living on, and they're a way of remembering, they're a way of expressing love. But a very effective way is to keep alive a dream. And if I can wax patriotic for a moment and say that we are all part of a dream that's several hundred years old, but that dream stays alive and continues to flourish and grow because people respect free people, hungry brains, minds that hunger for knowledge, spirits that reach out to other spirits, feelings that are honest and expressed to one another in an atmosphere of freedom and support and caring. That's what this country is all about, in principle. And for many of us, that's what it is all about. That's what this school is all about, in principle. And for many of us, that's what it is all about. Unfortunately, there are people who do not see this country in that way, and there are people who do not see this school in that way, and there are people who do not see themselves in that way. But Milt has a perspective that he has shared and invested himself in this school, and it will live, and he will live here as long as the school survives. And you know, people have been talking an awful lot lately to me about numbers, and I am quite frankly sick up to here with talk about numbers as if numbers or dollars or anything else was more important than principle and ideals and value that transcends numbers. We know that in this country there are students, and you know, I'm talking to loved ones here too because I've worked with many of you, and I've worked with you and under you, and the people who are here because of their love for Milt and their concern and caring. So I can talk to you as loved ones, and I will talk to you as loved ones. And sometimes when you talk to loved ones, you don't talk nicely, but you talk honestly. There are students dying in classrooms. We all know it. And we know that there is not too much that we can do given our circumstances and given the size of systems and given the priorities of communities and countries. But when there is something that can be done and we don't do it, shame on us. Let's not talk about numbers in terms of you get the numbers. Yeah, you get the numbers. You make sure you get the numbers. You do the work, you get the numbers. We all have a responsibility. If this dream is to stay alive, it is not based upon Milt Siler's being here any more than it's based upon me being here or any member of the staff. Let's get rid of that myth.